Dating is rigged, but not for you. Here's why. If you're a person under the age of 50 or 45, you've heard about Pop the Balloon before, right? Now, Pop the Balloon is a show where essentially we're gonna do the guy version. There's a bunch of guys on display. They've got their own balloon in their hands. There's a girl that walks in, or no, sorry, we're doing the guy version. So there's a guy that comes in, and there's a bunch of girls, a bunch of women on display, right? And these women, they carry their own balloon in their hands, and at any time, there's also a host there, by the way, who's asking questions to the guy that he has to answer. And by those answers, the woman has to say, like, they have to make a decision. Do I like this guy? Do I not like this guy? And if at any point they feel like it, they feel like they don't like this guy, what they do is essentially they pop the balloon. They just pop it. And when they popped it, the host goes forward to that person and says, "Why did you pop your balloon?" And then the girl explains why she popped the balloon to that guy. Essentially, that means she has rejected this guy, right? She's rejected him and, like, just, yeah, him as a person, him as a dating option. Now, on the outside, on the surface, for anybody that's not in the black pill community, anybody that doesn't really care about that stuff, anybody who's blue pill, for example, now they'd look at this and they'd be like, okay, sounds fair. She just doesn't like him. He can move on. There's plenty of fish in the sea, as they say. What black pillars thrive in when it comes to Pop the Balloon is it's all about looks, essentially. I mean, the questions, they're alright. They're like the standard blue pill things you hear every now and then. What do you look for in a girl? What do you look for in a partner? They don't even say woman. What do you look for in a partner? What do you look for in a partner? What do you look for in dating? What is allowed? What are your red flags? All that good stuff. And that barely matters, dude. That barely matters. There was a guy, I have an example of this. There was a guy on Pop the Balloon, right? And he was really good looking, tall dude, right? A black pillar's dream. This girl liked the guy, right? As she would. She liked the guy, and the guy answering the questions, she didn't like his answers, basically. And so what had happened was, she kept the balloon. I'm pretty sure this is true. She kept the balloon unpopped the whole time. This guy answering the questions, and she didn't like the answers he was giving. Her balloon was still like this. And I know black holes thrive on that, especially that clip. For any black hole who's seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And that just shows you the importance of looks on Pop the Balloon. And that makes it okay. Now this comes to my next point. Your response in view of Pop the Balloon. If you're an internet geek, you probably have the majority reaction, which is looks is all that matters. It's all that matters. Why should I care about looks when... No, why should I care about personality? Why should I care about becoming someone better when Pop the Balloon showed me right there? I don't need anything else other than my looks. I can just... Let's go surgery. Let's do looks maxing, whatever. And it's a very good strategy to join the black pill for whoever orchestrated it. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Guys' response and view of Pop the Balloon. It's very misleading. Now it's very accurate, of course, because Pop the Balloon, there are real girls, it's a real guy, and obviously the girls are giving real feelings and they're popping the balloon based on their feelings of the guy. So Where the problem comes in, where I have a problem with this, is where guys get a general view of dating based on pop the balloon. Why would you get your why would you get your general feel, your general look, your outlook on dating based on a game where you pop a balloon if you don't like the guy coming in? And there are a bunch of girls. It's not only one woman, it's a lot of females. It's like 10 females or something. And they all pop the balloon. And that pop the balloon sound, that pop, that gives your self-esteem, is like a punch to a man's self-esteem as soon as they hear that pop of the balloon, and then they get a general viewpoint of dating, and that's where I have a problem with it. The Black Pill have analyzed this, and they've come to a verdict that dating is based on things like internet dating, pop the balloon, things of that nature. And they think that you should have a general viewpoint of dating, that it's good for men to have a general viewpoint of dating based on something that is orchestrated for entertainment, for degeneracy, etc. You think in the cave times there was something like pop the balloon. I mean, I know the internet didn't exist, but even like for entertainment, do you think they popped the balloon? Do you think they did things like pop the balloon or pop the brick or whatever? No, they were too busy not dying, hunting down meat for dinner, etc. You know the whole primal story, alright? You've been told that many times. What I'm saying is the Black Pill uses pop the balloon as evidence, as science, and they delude men into joining the Black Pill community. Because now I know what dating is, the Black Pill was right. Looks only matter because of Pop the Balloon. Pop the Balloon have showed it precisely. And that's why men fail. When you get this viewpoint of the dating market that looks are all that matters, your confidence and self-esteem is entirely afflicted upon that, just that, nothing else. And that makes you not want to care about your looks. Unless you're like a Black Pill model, whatever, Chad, total stud, didn't have to do anything to gain it as well. Then you give up, basically, because you have your viewpoint of the dating market. And it's sad. It's misleading. It's diluted. And that energy you're giving off because of your viewpoint of the dating market, that is what leads to your misfortune. That's what leads to your failings. That's what leads to your success. It's your energy and feel for dating, for women, etc., things like that, that gives you your success. Now you can look very, very good, but if you feel the basic bullcrap of, if you're a blue pillar but you're good looking, yeah, you might get a girl or two, but those girls won't be there to stay unless they're, as blue-pilled and deluded as you are. So it's about your energy and judgment of the dating market. And you can't base your energy and judgment off things like pop the balloon, off degeneracy. Now I use pop the balloon as an example to show you what I'm talking about. Things like, pop the balloon, rating game, guess the BBL, etc., things like that. And it is stupid, in my opinion. It's absolutely deluded that you can have your viewpoint on dating, on women who have been around for thousands of years, millions of years. Maybe not millions. Let's go with thousands. You're basing that off of, I didn't like him, my body count is 15, I'm okay with 15, I'm okay with 20. You can be with 25 women, that's okay. Pop the balloon. It's stupid. It's literally stupid. It's the most stupidest thing you can ever conclude your viewpoint on dating from. And I'll tell you about a study. There's a study on about having dating apps and what it leads to on dating apps. Now, this is pretty degenerate itself. Dating apps are degenerate too, but in this society, in this world, you know, to actually meet women, you kind of have to have dating apps. The study says that the negative side effects to dating is approach anxiety, lower self-esteem, mental health concerns, and rejection and ghosting. Now, the fourth one is very important. This study shows that degeneracy, things like dating apps, pop the balloon, rating game, they lead to these negative side effects, these symptoms. And what do you think those symptoms lead to? What do you think appearance anxiety, lower self-esteem, mental health concerns, and rejection and ghosting leads to? Well, I just said it, rejection and ghosting. It leads to you being unsuccessful in your dating market. What gives you lower self-esteem? What would give you a bad look on dating? What would give you a bad look on women? Pop the balloon. My body count is 20. Dating apps. Yeah, I like drinking wine and champagne. I'm open to short relationships, you know. The absence of wife material, basically. Wow, I'm just kidding. Actually, well, I'm not kidding. It's true. I just said it in a jokey tone to stay monetized. But essentially, that's it. The more you spend your time on degenerate dating sites or degenerate dating things or things about attractiveness and finding your female, etc. Things like Pop the Balloon, dating apps, rating game, Guess the BBL, things like that. It'll of course it'll give you bad symptoms because you think that because of that you have a general viewpoint, and that general viewpoint is the black pill's right, and then the black pill leads to what I just listed. Now let's talk about the effects of not being on these dating apps. If you don't spend your time on these things, then what you listen to is the good things, or rather the things that has nothing to do with degeneracy. And then you realize women aren't so bad. Dating isn't so bad. Finding girls isn't so bad. Getting a wife isn't really that difficult. It's not difficult to find wife material when you're in those environments. I'll tell you this. You should have dating apps, in my opinion. You should have them, but you shouldn't dwell on them. You shouldn't see how many likes do I have. Why did this girl not reply to me? Why is she ghosting me? Things like that. Rejection. Because the more you do that, the more they see that you care so much, and then their love for you, their interest in you, their energy for you, it diminishes. And that's where the problem comes in. So to remove the problem, you gotta remove the product. The dating apps, Pop the Balloon, stuff like that. Basically, be less on social media. Have it there so you can have some prospects, so you can have some girls that are like, looking into you, like, hey, this guy looks pretty good, let me like him. Oh, she likes me. Oh, she's kind of cute, let's go out. That's all you gotta say. That's all you have to say. Let's go out. And it's over. Boom. That's your 10 seconds spent on the app. So now, how is your viewpoint on dating gonna look like? Are you gonna think it's rigged? No. You're gonna be fulfilled. And that's exactly what I've said today. Dating is rigged in the sense that things like dating apps, you don't really get to present yourself fully. Things like pop the balloon, it does have to do with looks. But for you who have just left these things, for you who find girls however you can, on dating apps included, it's not rigged. And here's why. I just told you. I've been Adrian. This is the first video where I've used my new model for scripts. As you can see, the video is almost 17 minutes. Well, unedited. I don't know how long it's going to be after, but I had a lot more to say when I got to use my own mind instead of the mind I had when I wrote the whole, script. I've been Adrian. Have a good one.